Hello and welcome to the second of our pre-budget chats, where we are trying to look at tonight the biggest issue before Arun Jaitley is how he revives the India growth story. Let me introduce the panelists once again. Dr. Omkar Goswami, economist and founder of CERG, Sir Kirk Advisory Private Limited. Sunil Alak, chairman of SK Advisors. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, senior fellow of the Center for Policy Research. Lord Meghnad Desai, well-known economist. And Sanjeev Sanyal is author and he's a global strategist at Deutsche Bank. And taking us through this conversation is our political editor, Navika Kumar. So Navika, once again, let's start with you. If you look at the last 7 or 8 quarters, we have been growing at less than 5%. And Arun Jaitley will be measured by what he can do to revive the growth story. Where will he start?
That's right. He's really looking at reviving the growth story because there are two parts to this. One is that India definitely needs an increase in employment because that's where the challenge for this government really lies, and that's the diktat that has been given by the Prime Minister to him. I can also tell you that there have been 3 rounds of meeting between the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister with their officials in the run-up to the budget. So the big picture is really the increasing of employment because that is the domestic audience that they have to address. Right. Apart from that, as you said, manufacturing industrial growth has come to a virtually crunching halt in the last few quarters, and that is something that they'd be looking at reviving. And of course, FDI has been something that's been plummeting really in the last part of the UPA, and that is something that both Narendra Modi and the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley would want to revive. So these are the 3 areas that they will be addressing, and when he makes his budget, he'll have at the back of his mind what he can do in each of these 3 areas to actually revive the India story, because he needs to take it to the world, and he's already said that mindless populism is not what he's going to go in for.
I remember that, where he said that mindless populism results, he said if you indulge in mindless populism, you burden the exchequer. You then expect the finance minister to impose higher taxes. You expect him to reduce the spending power in the hands of the consumer. I want to take that to Omkar, and let's take it forward. Let's have a free-flowing conversation among all of us. Omkar, what will, in your view, what will cheer India Inc? Tax exemptions or a reform agenda? And let's take it a little specific between these two. Which ones will matter more in your
question? A very quick point, because you started on a very serious note. 8 quarters of sub 5% growth. I think it's very important to realize that even if you are full-fledged into reforms, it will take 2, maybe even 3 quarters to have higher growth. And I'm not talking of 7-8%, I'm talking of even 5.5% to 6% growth will take 3 quarters down the line, if not 4. Because what has happened, Arnav, and this is very important, that over the last 3 years, we have done everything to ruin investor sentiments and to ruin the investment climate of India. We have the worst growth in capital formation, and without capital formation, you don't get GDP growth. It's as simple as that. Now, regarding the 2, whether it's going to be SOPs or whether it's going to be a hard budget, I think if you start really looking at the numbers very carefully and see how much fudge Mr. Chidambaram has done over the last 2 years, including the interim budget, you will have to appreciate that Mr. Jaitley has to come up with a credible hard budget. You can come up with a lot of reforms. You can come up with a lot of reforms. You can make serious reform intents in the budget, but it will have to be a hard budget. And one more thing before I end. The realistic number of the fiscal GDP will be more, fiscal deficit will be more like 4.7, 4.8%, not that rubbish 4.1 that Mr. Chidambaram put in his interim budget. So it's going to be a hard budget, it has to be.
Yeah.
And it has to be a reformist budget. The 2 are not at all out of sync with each other.
You know, can I just, I'll say take off with what...
Follow-up question.
What Omkar has just finished saying, I'm not going to repeat that, but the 2 areas are the current account deficit and the fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit he will have to manage by either cutting subsidies as well as expenses, as well as what he's paying to everybody and making them work harder. Current account deficit can only come through increase in exports or the improvement in our exchange rate because dollars have to come in. The third is the perception for the foreigners to bring in the money. Look what has happened since he's become Prime Minister. In 1 month, we've got as much FDI as the government got in the whole of last year. So he's already given that base, that the amount of money that has flowed in purely because he's become Prime Minister. The nation is at this
That's a pure
point.
post-election rush. Don't hype
No,
that.
whether it's post-election or not, in
Don't
1
hype
month
that.
you've got.
It's a pure post-election.
All right, take a look at what has happened to your fiscal deficit. In 2 months, you have spent 45% or whatever you were planning, whereas last year it was 30%. So look at what Modi is being given. A bad monsoon, he's been given a fiscal deficit where 45% has already been spent in April and
No,
May
I think we are
before
moving
he comes
away.
in. Therefore, one second.
We are moving
Arnab,
away.
Arnab, we are not going to, let me finish
Sunil, we are
okay.
moving away. My basic
One
question is very
second.
simple.
In that environment-
the World Bank,
In that
Sunil, just hear me.
environment, I
the
agree.
World Bank lowered India's growth forecast for 2014 to 5.5%. From
But-
around 6.2% estimated in
Arnab,
January.
can I just say that
it's
if he
a bad
gives
story.
a transparent plan
You had 8
in the
successive
budget,
quarters
which
of
is the
sub
plan for
5% growth.
the plan for the next
Question
3
is
years,
very simple,
people
Sunil.
will write this lower thing. Exactly what Omkar and I are saying. If the plan is clear, that this is what we are going to be doing over the next 3 to 4 years. This is the direction we are taking. This is what we are going to work towards. I don't think industry is going to look for sops. They want a clear plan. They want something that, all right, if Mr. Modi is saying this is what the plan is, he's going to execute it. That's all I'm saying.
I take your point. You need to present a 3 to 4 year plan
That's right.
in this budget. Rajiv wants to come in. Meghnad Desai, Sanjeev Sanyal. I'm happy the discussion is getting warm, but I'd request everyone, let's stay to the subject. The challenge is how do we revive growth?
Now, first
Simple.
short point.
Yeah.
There has to be two objectives: growth and controlling inflation. Otherwise, the people will rise up in revolt.
Yeah.
Second point is that growth can grow up either by spending more government money or by inviting more private investment. And because he is in a tight fiscal space, all of us know that he has to do whatever has to be done to increase the private investment and private capital formation in the country.
Without a doubt.
But here comes the crunch, which is that for doing this, India Inc. continues to ask all the time for more fiscal concessions.
Yeah.
But that's just not possible.
Yeah.
So what Mr. Jaitley has to do is to present some credible fiscal numbers to begin with, enhance his revenue sources, enhance his revenue so that he gets more fiscal space, and focus really much more on that. Reform the direct tax administration so that the private capital feels for the first time that they're not going to be harassed and hounded and so on, and create the environment for private investment to take roots in this country.
Exactly.
Now, but most important, Arnab, he has to explain his strategy to the people of this country that a current bout of some bitter medicine is actually just a short bout, and without which you will not be able to get back to the growth trajectory.
All will be forgiven, Rajiv, and Meghnad Desai, Sanjeev Sanyal, coming to you now. All will be forgiven if you can create jobs.
That's
if you
right.
can, if you can create employment, and Arun Jaitley says repeatedly that you have to open up investment in all sectors which create jobs.
But on just that one pointer now, which is that to create jobs, perhaps the most important thing here would be to expand exports and to aim for an ambitious target like going for $1 trillion in exports in the next 5 years. And you can do external
let's
learning.
talk about investment.
And for that,
let's talk about investment. We'll talk
place.
export. Well, let's talk about investments. We talk about cumbersome legislations. We talk about an unstable tax regime. Yes, okay. Tax terrorism as
is
Arun
what Arun Jaitley has referred to.
Meghnad Desai, coming to you, Sanjeev Sanyal from Singapore.
Yeah, so the real problem here is very simple about jobs. You have had a very peculiar Indian growth model which has generated jobs and economic growth essentially in the services sector. But you have a situation that 50% of the employment is still in agriculture, which only generates about 13% of the economy. So what you have to really do is to change this model in such a way that you get the industrial sector expanding again and create jobs, which requires you to move to a much more East Asian type growth model, which is about deploying of investment, deploying of millions of people into the workforce. So essentially what you need from Modi and Jaitley is really a shift in India's growth model to a much more Chinese and East Asian style growth model.
I take your point, but where does he start, Meghnad Desai? Or what are the things? Let's look at it this way, Lord Desai. What are the things which dissuade investors?
Yeah. No, listen. First of all, our labor market needs drastic reform because manufacturing will not grow unless we reform labor markets. Now, Narendra Modi has decided that he doesn't want to go to the path of legislative reform at the union level, but he will encourage individual states to reform the labor laws. Now, Maharashtra has done some beginning with it, Gujarat has done. Now, if Jaitley can speed up, give a signal that the government wants to speed up labor market reform, then you'll be able to have really large-scale manufacturing units in India, which we don't have, unlike Bangladesh or Malaysia or Indonesia. So our biggest problem has been for the last 20 years, really very strict hiring and firing conditions in the labor market, too many inspections, too much bureaucracy. So he has to give a signal that manufacturing will be released from these constraints. Secondly, I agree with Omkar Goswami and everybody else. The budget will have to be very tough because I think the real deficit numbers for fiscal 15 are not even going to be 4.7 as Omkar said, but it's going to be much more above 5. The mess that Chidambaram has left behind is a very serious mess. So no SOPs, no concessions to corporates, nothing like that. You'll have to bear something until the next budget in February. Thirdly, I think growth will revive faster.
One second. Navika and Rajiv want to come to you. I'm letting them in. Lord
Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay.
Lord Meghnad Desai, you're talking about a 4.8 fiscal deficit of going over 5. That's going to be something that's going to bring in the downgrades, and that's going to make borrowing abroad much more expensive. So that is not something the finance minister is likely to risk.
Can you please listen to my explanation? Can you listen to my explanation? Chidambaram's vote on account, real deficit implied by that vote on account is 5.5. So Jaitley will have to do something about revenue raising or divestment, massive divestment, to be able to bring the number down to 4.5. That's what I'm saying. Chidambaram has left a huge mess behind, which is why the budget will not be very, very tough.
I'm letting two counters come in.
Lastly, can I say one thing? Lastly, can I say one more thing? That because of the logjam in policy process in the last 3 years, if the government can relax those logjams, create the conditions by which those projects can resume, projects which have been tied up without producing anything due to delivery of coal, infrastructure, and so on. If they can fix that, then the growth will revive faster than most people think.
So, but
I think growth will be 6% by next year.
You're the economist, and many economists hold this view, and Omkar is responding, Omkar Da, that let's tolerate a higher deficit. Let's focus on growth. And Navika says you can't do that because the foreign credit rating agencies are going to look at the budget fine print to decide our ratings, and that's going to determine how much money comes in. Contrary to you from Mumbai, from London we're going to Mumbai. Sanjeev after that.
What Navika
high
said.
deficit doesn't get
I also have a contrary view on this.
Just a very simple point, Arnav.
It's a fallacy.
The country and also the people who rate the country's debt and the sovereign debt position are looking forward to some truth telling. If very clearly Mr. Jaitley shows why there has been a huge amount of fudge on the budget, and I'll give you just one. On fertilizer alone, there is a massive amount of amounts that have to be paid to fertilizer companies which were not paid simply because if you don't pay, then there is no expenditure, right? And there are many others like that. So I think it's extremely important that he has to say the truth. And if he says the truth and says, as Meghnad said, that would take it to above 5, I am trying to strive to keep it at 4.7, which, while higher than 4.1, is higher than a completely fictitious mythical number which was created by my predecessor. And this is how I plan to do it, and these are the reforms that I shall do. I do not believe, in fact, I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar, however small that is, that it will not affect credit ratings.
I think
what
that's
is-
the sort. That's a.
See, what-
Well,
I
would-
can we
I would
get a
agree
view
with
from
that,
Singapore
actually.
quickly? Can we just
In
get a view
fact,
from Sanjeev? Coming.
Let me add to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this idea that somehow credit rating agencies and foreign investors will look at one particular year's deficit and will freak out is actually wrong. What they would much rather have, as Dr. Goswami just pointed out, is to look at some truth telling, basically clear transparency about what is the real state of affairs as far as the fiscal is concerned, and then be given a roadmap, which could be a 5-year roadmap, where you show how things are being improved over time. Nobody is asking that in suddenly 1 year this fiscal deficit is radically reduced. In fact, if anything, if you suddenly reduce this deficit too fast in an environment where growth is still very weak, you will stall the economy. So people understand that. So
Exactly.
what you really want is a clear roadmap, and that roadmap has to include things other than what, as I said last week, other than what is purely fiscal. So this has to be labor reforms and many other things. I mean, not just labor reforms, simplification of the tax system, for example, which will get growth going. So unless you have growth going, the tax base will not increase, and you will keep debating this every year after year after year.
No. So at this point, the debate therefore is, and Sanjeev, you are in a good position to say that. I mean, given the job that you do this on a daily basis. So I appreciate that you're actually backing up Omkar Goswami and saying let's do some truth telling. But at the same time, Rajiv, what people will want, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, what people will want is a clear signal. All that we are hearing actually from all of us is give the global community, give industry clear signals. Give them a clear signal on tax legislations, on GST, on whether you are going to have disinvestment, give it a renewed push, what your time frame for that is, which sectors you'll open up for key investment. I mean, that's the kind of talk that many investors would want to hear. Will Jaitley do that? Will he get that far?
I think he has to do that.
You think he has to?
He must do that. But you see, the point we must all remember is that a large fiscal deficit, even if comes out of as a result of truth telling, will spook the markets.
You think it will?
Absolutely.
Yes, it will.
So therefore, he has to, because
your view is completely
because he does not have fiscal
Not at all.
space.
Even loads large.
I completely disagree, because if the numbers go up to 5.2 etc. and are not accompanied by a very clear, strong revenue mobilization effort.
That's not what he's saying. That's not, Sanjeev is saying,
not the current
give
situation.
me a revenue mobilization
that's what
effort.
he's saying.
I haven't heard that. You see, but I haven't heard that. What I'm saying is that this budget must include clear reforms of the tax system, which will improve the revenue mobilization from direct tax, especially.
Yes.
And this investment, because if he does not do that, the fiscal deficit is going to go through the ceiling, and whatever truth telling you might do, the market and the investor expects the finance minister to exercise fiscal prudence and fiscal discipline and show clear signs of that.
But you're also trying to look at a long-term story.
No,
Meghnad Desai coming to you, limited time. Let's keep it rolling. Sunil Alagh, it was a little uncomfortable with what was being
we are
put
forgetting
a while back. What was making you uncomfortable, Sunil?
Yeah, the two biggest employment generators are expenditure on infrastructure and the SMEs. The big guys don't give so much of employment in India. So as long as the government begins the infrastructure spending and encourages SME, that is where the employment comes in. And I will now bring in a contrarian view. Everybody's talking about labor laws. Tell me which company which decided to downsize had a problem in India. None of them. Whether there are laws or whether there are, of course I'm saying we should get clearer laws. But don't make that a big hawa about that is what is preventing investment. That is not preventing investment at all.
You talked about labor laws. You talked about labor laws. You're not repeatedly talking about labor laws. That's not the story, Sunil Alagh said.
Yes, I can tell you what. No, it is not firing people that Sunil Alagh talks about. We don't have factories of 1,000 and 2,000 people that Bangladesh and Malaysia have. We don't have them. This is where you're going to employ the rural surplus labor. You're not going to employ them in fancy auto parts manufacturing. All India has is medium to high-tech manufacturing, small units with a lot of contract labor. This is not the way of manufacturing
Therefore,
growth.
infrastructure
Manufacturing
and
growth comes
exports will
from
take
very,
care of
very
it.
large units.
So infrastructure and exports will take care of it.
Goods like Bangladesh, Malaysia, Indonesia do.
But they're
and
all
that is what we
exports.
have not done. So
Meghnad, they are
I'm
all
saying
export
labor laws
industries.
don't matter.
So, okay, let's
Labor
not
laws
narrow
do
focus
matter.
on labor laws.
do matter, and we have not had manufacturing growth for 20 years because labor laws have not been reformed.
Why not take the exemption up to 8 lakhs, then have a 10% tax between 8 and 20 lakhs. Beyond that, you have a 20% tax rate till 30, and then beyond that 25. That's the peak rate, and get rid of every single exemption.
And will not be acceptable. To have a
Sanjeev,
tax
I
exemption
agree with
of 8
Rajiv.
lakhs
It's not.
Look,
in a
right
country
now the rich are
which
not
has
on
something that you can do this year.
67,000 rupees is just not going to be, just
is-
not going to wash. Our
So- I
tax
agree with
to
Rajiv.
GDP ratio is already very low.
No.
What he can do is that what Mr. Chidambaram
This
said last
socialist
time,
idea
that super rich are only 43,000 people in this country. He can tell his tax people that number should be doubled. Now that's where I would agree. But to raise the exemption limits will actually be seen as again
Why not?
pandering to the middle class and not taking care of the poor.
I think we can get specific in the time that we have. Omkar Goswami, I would like to start with you. I saw your hand go up. You can intervene with your point. I'm repeatedly saying, can we please say, we have little leg room. We're going to have to really make the fiscal deficit more realistic.
But let's get away from the fiscal
It will go to
deficit.
5%.
No,
let's assume it goes over.
let's get away from the
No,
fiscal.
I'm saying let's get over the fiscal deficit
let's
issue.
go to the growth
We
and
all
employment.
agree on this
Yes,
panel.
absolutely.
We presented
Yeah.
the budget
Yeah, let's forget the
programs
number. Let's
last
forget the
year.
number
And I
now.
clearly remember Omkar
plan.
Goswami was there. And everyone agreed with him that there has been so much jugglery with these numbers. Nobody, including Omkar Da or Meghnad Desai or Navika, were buying it last year, or you. So there's this fudging going. Let's talk about what can be done.
Yeah, you see the-
and which are the 3 or 4 things which can be done. I think Omkar Da wanted to come in. You want to
Yeah,
make
so
a point
just-
before
yeah.
Omkar Da, just briefly
The
after.
small and medium enterprises need a liberation. They need a liberation from the license inspector Raj. There are 70 clearances that they have to go through every year to continue in business. Can Mr. Jaitley be bold and say, I hereby ask my inspectors not to visit anybody who employ less than 100 people? And if I catch them doing the wrong things, for example, employing child labor, I'll completely close that down. This is the kind...
Is that what industry and the global community are watching? I don't think so. I think you're being very micro.
I think the small and medium enterprises which have the hunger for growth today face huge constraints, and they are the people who employ, who generate employment now, and they are the people who generate 50% of your
Fine,
export.
but what about what about
You have to
GST? What
improve-
about tax terrorism?
So-
what about
so-
disinvestment? What about
See, but again-
opening up defense, telecom sectors? Are these not important? Why aren't we talking? Why can't Jaitley talk about that in
He
his
will
budget?
be
And will he
talking
talk
about that.
about
It is on his agenda.
not?
He will announce some new sectors where FDI will be allowed to come in. That's for one.
Like what are
Second,
you hearing, Navika? Defense?
Defense is
He's
definitely on
defense
the
minister.
list.
The cap is 26%. He handles 2 portfolios. He's a critical member.
He's
he can do
definitely
it. He's a
going to
member of
announce.
the cabinet committee on security. You think he'll walk the talk and take it beyond 26%?
He will definitely do it. He needs foreign direct investment, and he's is going to look at sectors where that can be opened up, and defense is certainly one that is
That's
topping
going to
the
be
list.
big.
That's going to be big.
Yeah.
But the other big issue
Insurance.
is, as we're talking about disinvestment and the fiscal deficit. Why I'm talking about fiscal deficit is it's an important part of his budget. If he does truth telling the way he's being advised by several economists on our panel, the fact is that the junk rating that was coming in 2012, which took this government, the previous government, some time to ward off, and that's why they had to actually dress up those numbers. So obviously the international agencies are going to look at the fiscal deficit number very closely, and if he doesn't do that, and I've been privy to conversations in the finance ministry where this is their biggest fear. If they do truth telling, that credit rating agencies abroad are going to lose their confidence in the Indian budget building system, and that is something that the government cannot risk at any point.
Navika.
The second second part he's going to do is
Now we
talk
come
about a
to the
disinvestment
rates
agenda,
are
because
on that
reviving the capital markets is definitely something this government is going to look
Yeah.
at, because it's something that needs to be revived, because the retail investors need to get back to the market and need to take away the gold rush that we are seeing. Investment has to go in different directions, and that's the nudge that the finance minister will need to give. Go to the markets, don't go to buy gold, because that's creating the biggest upsetting of the balance of payments.
Okay, Omkar Goswami.
Yeah, so let me just get on to what I think he will do in addition to what other people have said he will do or he might do. First and foremost, without doubt, he has to significantly increase the target for disinvestment, not only of state-owned public sector banks, but the 10 public sector enterprises that are listed and are a part of the S&P CNX 100. He has to do this, and he has to walk the talk. Now, that's not an easy task, because remember, this year, he doesn't have the full year. He actually effectively has even less than 9 months, right? So he has to at least do one critical disinvestment every 45 days in the market. You can't do more than that because the market can't absorb too much, okay? That's number
That's
one.
ambitious. That's ambitious.
That's very ambitious, and it's a very tough task.
These
you need a
targets
top
have never
class.
been realized.
I personally, I think, Arnab, that
You need a top class disinvestment.
Arnab, this
and you've got a-
disinvestment.
Sorry, one sec. I'll
Arnab,
just come back.
disinvestment is at best going to be the icing on the cake. It cannot be the main thing.
I agree with you,
Ultimately, you have
Sanjeev.
to get the
I
tax
agree
base
with you.
expanded, and
but
frankly,
that
you need
icing
to
is badly needed.
radically simplify the tax system as it stands right now. It is just too complicated, and it just taxes
that
too
will
many
take
people.
time.
Look, that
And I
can't be
think I'll
done
give you
in a
one
year. It can be
illustration.
promised.
So
that
let's
you
talk
cannot
about
do.
what
No,
we
I
can
don't
do.
think so. No,
I'll give you an
Sanjeev.
illustration.
Okay, you can give the illustration. Meghna Desai coming to you. Sorry for the interruption, but I think we are making some
I'll
valid
give an
points there.
illustration. Why?
Yeah.
So here, for example, take in personal income tax, for example. Something like 3% of the taxpayers pay 2/3 of all the taxes. And the bottom 50% are essentially not paying any tax at all. They're just middle class, low income earners who are being harassed by the tax system.
Yeah.
Now, just 4 lakh taxpayers in India are claiming to get an income of 20 lakhs or so. Now, South Delhi should be able to provide that many taxpayers. The point is, got to expand it. And one illustration could be, why not take the exemption up to 8 lakhs, then have a 10% tax between 8 and 20 lakhs. Beyond that, you have a 20% tax rate till 30, and then beyond that 25. That's the peak rate, and get rid of every single exemption.
And will not be acceptable. To have a
Sanjeev,
tax
I
exemption.
agree
of
with
8
Rajiv.
lakhs
It's not.
Look,
in a
it's
country
now the
which
rich
has
are not
not
paying
something
tax
that you
of
can do this year.
67,000 rupees is just not going to be. It's
is-
not going to wash. Our
So- I
tax
agree with
to
Rajiv.
GDP ratio is already very low.
No.
What he can do is that what Mr. Chidambaram
This
said last
socialist
time,
idea
that super rich are only 43,000 people in this country. He can tell his tax people that number should be doubled. Now that's where I would agree. But to raise the exemption limits will actually be seen as again
Why not?
pandering to the middle class and not taking care of the poor. What he can do, what
Yeah,
he
so
can
middle
do is
class
to
shouldn't
say
be pandered
4.5
to. Why-
lakh
what's wrong
crore
with
are
that?
caught in
The exemption
litigation
limit
today.
of 2 lakhs is
Litigation,
not the
4.5
middle class,
lakh
Rajiv.
crore.
So
of
that-
You
that
will have to
tax
put a
revenue.
little bit of
Yes,
money in the
that's
hands of
20% of it.
the lower class.
I think we are going all over the place.
This is the nitty-gritty.
I don't think this budget
So
is
we're
going to be.
good
This
point
budget
is
is not
coming
going
in.
to be about
Omkar
exemption.
I'm
Goswami
sorry, I
next.
disagree this idea that
Omkar Goswami, just adding a point here, we had the survey by PricewaterhouseCoopers which found that the take-home salary after paying income tax and social security contributions of a high earner in India is less than that of salary earners in UK, Canada, US, China and Russia. So question is there any room for a tax breather?
exactly.
No, you
Is there
exactly.
any room for a tax breather? Omkar Goswami, yes
No,
please.
there is. I do not think there is one. There could have been one if we had a slightly better fiscal situation. Any one of us, all of us are salaried people and we would all love tax breathers, but there isn't room. He has to get a large amount of non-tax revenue. He has to use the IT system properly. Look, I want to ask a very simple question. Ask yourself, how many people in India do you think earn a taxable income of 1 crore or more? How many people do you think? And let me tell you that it is
handful.
25 times more
So
than what the
43,000.
tax department thinks. How can you do this?
I told Mr. Chidambaram he could find that
But
many
that is
numbers
according to
and
who are telling you these taxes.
No, and this is not a big deal. Look, we have a top-class
net they
IT
go for.
system.
The point
We
is that
know
nobody
who
is
earns
declaring the
more.
income.
Let them
Service
pay. We are not
sector
saying go
provides
after them
60%
hammer and
of
tong.
GDP,
We are simply
contributes
saying
12%
there is a
of the tax
30%
revenue.
tax rate plus
All
a
the
3%
lawyers,
surcharge,
chartered accountants,
33%,
all
make
kinds
them
of professional
pay.
doctors, etc., are outside the tax net.
And the lawyers
They don't
who
declare
always,
income, and the tax system doesn't go after.
and the lawyers
Now,
who
that's where
always
we have to
ensure
make
that
the
they're
effort.
outside the tax
And
net
that is where
because they
we
often
will-
get a finance
we will
minister who's a
use this
lawyer.
challenge to convert it into an opportunity
now the
to
finance
clean
minister
up
is a lawyer.
the direct tax system, which needs huge amount of cleaning
But
up.
I
at
don't
this point
agree
of time.
with you, Dr. Rajiv Kumar, that he's going to give no good news in terms
why
of
not
tax
simplify the
exemptions to
system
the
then?
middle class.
That's how you
because
do it.
that's the class that's voted this government to power.
Exactly.
And he
No, the poor have also voted
he is a political finance minister.
but-
he's likely to look at at
Navita,
least three
but
groups of
Mr.
people.
Modi has
One
said-
is the middle classes, one is the senior citizens. These are groups of people
But-
that he has to look
Navika,
at.
he
given
may
the
do.
political
He may do,
economy
but
that
they'll
he
be
lives
very
in.
You
trivial
realize
tax
that we began by
exemptions.
talking about
Yeah.
growth.
They may
We've
do,
not
they will
agreed
have
on a
very
single
little
thing even
budgetary
on this panel.
implication,
We've
they'll
not
be very
agreed on
trivial
fiscal
tax
deficits,
exemptions.
investment tax
Look at the
freezer, or
numbers.
expanding the tax net, which perhaps tells me that it's going to be a there isn't much leg room when we spoke about it in the first chat. Jaitley doesn't come in with any leg room. Can we at least agree on three things? At least two or three things, Meghnad Desai, which Jaitley just has to do. I mean, for example, if you've accused the UPA government of tax
We are economists,
terrorism,
we don't
then you
agree.
should roll back all the retrospective taxes introduced
He
by
has
the
to do
previous
that.
governments.
He has to get rid of
Which I think is a
retrospective tax.
certainty, right?
Complete agreement.
GST? No, one second.
Yeah.
GST? We don't
I-
talk
I
about
think he has
GST.
to-
Will he
he
be
has
able
to
to
find
evolve a
tax
consensus?
terrorism.
Implemented in 1 year or
He
in
has
the next
to-
6 months.
But he'll give a roadmap.
He has
But
to
he will give a
end tax
roadmap. He
terrorism.
should give a roadmap. That's perfect. That's valid.
Yeah, Lord Desai.
He has to end tax terrorism both of foreign companies and of domestic taxpayers. He has to declare the true deficit and then announce a divestment program which will get it down at the end of the fiscal year. And lastly, he has to give a roadmap of the next 4 or 5 years of where he's going to bring the deficit down to zero so the economy can grow healthily again.
No,
And one
so-
more thing I'll
so,
add to what
Lord
Meghnad
Desai.
said. I'll add one more thing to what
I think he
Meghnad
has
said,
to announce
and a
the
goods and
budget
services
FDI
tax
in defense
date by
and
which
storage
it will come into
budget.
play. I think if he did
And
all the things that
defense up to
Meghnad said,
75%.
we'd be doing fine.
I would only allow 3 things.
Yeah, that's it. 3
No,
plus
so,
1 goods and services tax.
Gentlemen,
FDI can go to 100%.
one second.
What's the problem?
Omkar Goswami has been saying something. I missed that
Yeah,
last
no. So
part.
I just said I completely
Omkar,
agree. I completely agree with what Meghnad said. Add to that a time-bound map no later than next fiscal year of bringing in the goods and services tax. Enough of talking about it and not bringing it in, and just focus on those things that Meghnad did. You can give a few sops to the middle class. They'll be very small amounts. Do not tinker with subsidies in terms of increasing them. Recognize that we have a very, very tough year. And I go back to what I said in the last program. Please go through the 1991 budget. Other than the famous Victor Hugo statements and the lovely things that Manmohan Singh said when he thought of Rajiv Gandhi, right? Other than that, if you look at it, it was one of the toughest budgets that he came out with. And the 92 budget was even tougher than the 91 budget. Did anyone paste India for it? None. Time has come to call a spade, speak honestly, and do the job that you've been supposed to do, which is fix an exchequer which has been ruined.
We all agree on that.
You know, like his investments in infrastructure,
so-
I come back in roads and all is going to generate a lot of employment. And Modi has always followed one
I think
philosophy.
there's-
1 second, may I just
I think
finish?
there is a-
Modi has only followed one philosophy in his life, unlike that mindless populism of the last government, where it was paisa pheko, tamasha dekho. He says paisa kamao, growth jamao. He will do everything to earn the money first before he spends it. He needs income generation and he will spend on infrastructure. He will say the second and third year is when you'll get the benefits. Please stand by me in this budget. That will be his philosophy. He will start the process. And I cannot see anyone rating us down if they see a very constructive
No, but you have
roadmap
to-
ahead. Nobody rates a country down when they
but
see a
Arun
constructive
Jaitley-
roadmap.
No, but Arun Jaitley is a practical man. One second. He's also a practicing politician, and he will know that you have to. There is nothing called a hope. People don't live in hope. We are 134th among 180 odd countries in the ease of doing business in India, as per the World Bank report. Nokia was threatening to pull out. Honda was threatening to pull out. Arun Jaitley will have to tell these global companies what it is in them as far as the India story is concerned. And on that, I would like to go back to London to Meghnad Desai. So, you know, at least he will have to indicate that this is how doing business in India will be simpler. These are my 8 or 9 points. There has to be that headline takeaway from this budget. Can we at least expect that?
Yeah, you see, the nice thing about being good to foreign businesses, it doesn't cost him anything. He can reassure them, he can invite them back, he can say things will be good, there will be no retrospective legislation, and the attitude will be positive. He can do all that. There's a lot of damage to reverse, and he can do that. And that doesn't cost him a penny, and it will bring him lots of money. So he will do that. That will be a confidence-boosting thing. But he'll also have to do the same thing for domestic business. He'll have to tell the domestic business people, we will stop harassing you on income tax, we'll stop taking you to court, CBI and all that rubbish, and we will just let you grow. That's what is needed in the last 5 years.
Arnab, I want to go back
even
to,
our private business has been harassed by the government, and they have exported
said in
capital.
the last program.
They can bring that capital back if the government
is,
says, we will be nice with you.
Omkarda is coming in on that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I want to go back to what Rajiv Kumar, my friend, said in the last program. And I think he said it very tellingly, and we forgot all about it thereafter, and I want to get back to it. 4.7 lakh crores are being held up on income tax disputes, which the government with alacrity takes to higher and higher courts. And the fact of the matter is that if you have an income tax dispute of 25 lakhs, just 25 lakhs, the matter can be taken up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Now, what Rajiv said, and he has subsequently written, I'm sorry Rajiv, I'm speaking for you, is that even if 30%, forget 30%, even if 10% of that is settled, and I can tell you one thing, that definitely Mr. Jaitley, as a lawyer, is looking at ways in which such settling can be done without it looking like a tax amnesty. And that alone can bring in a sizable amount of money in the first year.
And the point about tax terrorism and what Meghnad was saying and Omkar is saying, see, the reform of the direct tax system to make it less draconian, to make it less harassing, the raid Raj that you've got there, if Mr. Jaitley really addresses those things, saying no more retrospective taxes, no more transfer pricing nonsense, no more raids, and for God's sake, not reintroduction of the wealth tax. I've just heard very strange rumor that might come back. Now that will just kill the investment sentiment. I hope that doesn't happen. So if he takes this opportunity to reform the direct tax system, makes it taxpayer friendly, that I've heard for the last 20 odd years, the domestic investor will come back to it. And for the foreign investor, he has to announce the liberalization of foreign investment norms in the defense sector, in the insurance sector, and he has to make no more noises about the foreign investment in the retail sector. He has to just let that sleeping dog lie. If he does that along with the tax arrears, I think he would have created an investment climate which is positive, and he will bring back the growth story.
So if 3 things are done, very simply, I think the lowest common denominator is perhaps that you address the issue of tax terrorism fairly and squarely. Then you don't have wealth tax, so you don't spook anyone out on that. You open up some key sectors, right? And then you give a map that this is what I'm hoping to take the Indian economy. These are some of my big infrastructure projects, and we are committed to raising money for that. Do you think this alone will make it a damn good budget? I mean, is this alone going to address the issue of growth?
Along with the along with the clearing of the licensing
this would be
Raj,
absolutely
which
just
is-
good enough for her.
And some reforms on
sectors
the-
like insurance or
I said that. I said, yeah,
disinvestment, some of these sectors.
Yeah, so insurance,
and
UPA.
if certain dates are given,
what you
some
said,
time frames
he
are
will
given.
raise
Yeah.
the tax
That would be
exemption
very
limit
good.
at
You
the
know,
lower
all-
level.
all you really need
He'll
is
have to
some
balance it
certainty
on
for doing
both
business.
sides as far
That
as
you
the Aam
won't
Aadmi
in
is
the
also
future,
concerned.
Arnab,
suddenly be
Arnab, to
slapped with
answer
another
what you're
random
saying,
tax, or you don't
it
know
will.
where this is
So
going.
that
Business
really
can be
sort of-
done in an environment which is predictable.
If all of this
And
happens,
Jaitley knows
it
that.
will-
He's been a corporate lawyer all his life. He knows that at the end of the day, I'd like to go to Mumbai once again and come back to you to Omkarta and Sunil Alagh. At the end of the day, what was the big problem with global businesses? That they considered India a country fraught with a huge amount of political risk.
So it's
The
very,
political risk of working in India was seen to be very high in the UPA government.
Arnab,
Omkarta and
very
Sunil Alagh,
quickly,
yes.
Very quickly, I think the things that you recapitulated at the end, if all of these were in this budget, it would have gone a big way in terms of being sensible and in terms of being able to give a vision and still cut your coat according to your cloth. Add to that a larger amount on divestment, and I think we would be fine for this year. More reforms will be needed going forward, but I think if all of those are there, each one of us sitting here will say kudos.
You know, most of industry, both international that have been meeting as well as domestic, are not looking for sops.
in fact,
they want clarity. Once you give them clarity, they are very happy to invest. They are not looking, give me this rebate. Even Vodafone and what you're talking about, he will say no more retrospective tax. But these two will have to settle out of court. He's not going to waive off everything that they owe. He's going to give them an opportunity. Let's settle it at 50, 40, whatever. And that will be the end of it, saying in future, there is no more retrospective tax. And a clear thing, even with China, when you go and talk, that the Chinese are just, why they are dictators, but they are very clear. This is the policy, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. Once that's clear, investment flows in. There are only two countries left in the world, Arnab, is China and India. Willy-nilly, you have to invest. You can go to China first, India second. What was keeping India out was the lack of a clear
Sunil
roadmap.
Alagh,
That's all.
On a lighter note, since you have been a Modi camp follower, I couldn't resist that, Sunil. I can't let you go.
But he's wearing the Modi jacket now.
Cut me some slack.
Long before
me some
Modi
slack.
came into our horizon,
It's all
I've
getting
been
very
wearing this
serious,
jacket.
He's
Omkarta.
now straight jacketed
I've
by Modi.
been wearing these jackets long before Modi came to our horizon, yeah.
He's straight jacketed by Modi now. Okay, go ahead.
No. The question is that I'm just thinking of our last chat, right, Navika? It appears to me that with clearances, taxes, litigation, all this is easy to do. The difficult thing to do is to address the problems of Achhe Din for the promise of Achhe Din for the Aam Aadmi.
Yes,
Achhe Din for international and global investors can be handled.
And again,
you
Arnab,
can make Sanjeev
he
Sanyal
said-
happy
he
because
said
he's
you have
looking at
given
foreign
60
investment.
years
It's
to the
easier to make
Congress, give me
Sanjeev
60
Sanyal
months.
happy
Give me
than
60
it
months.
is
Arnab,
going
not
to
even
be
giving him 6 hours.
Arnab, you have to play a role
That's the
here,
tragedy.
and which is not to raise expectations
Arnab,
that
not
Achhe Din
even
will be
giving
around in
6 hours.
3 days,
Who raised
in 3 months.
Arnab,
No, but what you have
Those
to
expectations were not
expectations.
raised by us. They were raised by Modi in his
but
elections.
Modi
Yes, but he
has
didn't
never
say in the
said that
first
those
month.
Achhe Din.
No, he
I'll
said.
do it in the
No,
first month,
and
he
that will be there in 3 months' time.
No, but
and
he
as
didn't-
as Sunil said, his mantra
बेटा,
is पहले कमाओ और फिर उसके बाद रोजगार बढ़ाओ और ग्रोथ
सीधी सी
बढ़ाओ.
बात,
You see, the
आज
point is
दवाई
that this
खाओ,
अच्छे दिन
कल अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं.
is actually going to
told
create a
you.
huge amount of
पैसा
disappointment,
कमाओ,
which we don't
growth
need at
जमाओ.
this time.
What can you
That's what
do?
it is.
It comes back to haunt you.
No, I know.
I know cabinet ministers
If you
in
really
Delhi
want to make me happy-
who say we should not have hyped things up so much before the elections. And they are saying so now.
Yeah, but then they
So
wouldn't
did
have got
Obama
22.
hype things
Or
up
now
so
that we
much,
got
did
it,
everything in the
since you
second
mentioned
term.
me,
Politics is like that in election time, and then
the
when
best
the
way
real
to
time
make
comes,
me happy or
the
no
direction is
would be
clear.
Hyped it
to
up.
Direction is
dramatically simplify the personal tax system, because
Yeah, that's
you know,
right.
poor middle class people are being harassed for tiny amounts of tax.
Yeah.
Why not take the exemption right up to 8 lakhs or even more?
Please
I think
don't
that would
do
really
that.
make
Well,
me
we're
happy.
going there
The
afresh.
tax
So-
system is serious
So
about taxing the rich guys.
last word tonight is to Meghnad Desai. Yes, sir.
I think he should promise, if not this year but next year, a direct cash transfer to all people below poverty line. A direct cash transfer, none of the other subsidies, and say we will give you every month this much money. If he does that for the bottom 30% of the population, अच्छे दिन आ जाएंगे.
And remove
Okay.
all the price subsidies.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, it's been a great chat. I think a lot of things are doable, and what I take away from this once again is that the right amount of symbolism needs to be there, and a time frame of delivery needs to be there for Arun Jaitley. And I think he's a pragmatic guy. He knows what signals people are looking for, and I think nobody
Well,
better
I
than
hope
him
he
to
watches
articulate.
this. I hope he watches the program. I hope he watches the program.
Frankly,
I hope he does.
seriously hope he
Yeah.
does not. He should be writing his budget speech, not watching this program. Come on.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good talking to all of you. See you on Budget Day. Thank you very much.